Hi guys, Monday again, and that's another week's Premier League football out of the way. Amazing weekend, so I'm just going to do a quick review of the football across the weekend in the Premier League. So, we had our first Friday night football. Fan or not a fan, the jury's still out with me. Not sure if I like it, but we'll see what happens. But can't help but be impressed with Jose Mourinho's Manchester United. They beat Saints 2-0 and they just look a really good side. I said in one of my earlier predictions for the season that Jose would go in and have the effect that he's had, and Zlatan, what can we say? Anyone that doubted that he'd scored goals in the Premier League when he's done it everywhere else, just an amazing bit of business, I feel. So Man United won 2-0. Saints didn't really do enough in front of goal to get anything. They had a lot of ball and played some quite nice stuff, but David De Gea was never really tested. So 2 from 2 for Jose and a home win. Moving on to the Saturday, the early game saw Stoke play Manchester City. Now, if you look at the scoreline for this game, you'll think, oh, Pep's done it easy. Far from it. City won 4-1, but that doesn't tell the story of the game. Two, I suppose some people say controversial penalties, but I think Mike Dean, by the letter of the law, has got them both bang on. The two he's given, one for each team. Unfortunately, he got the absolute stonewall one on Joe Allen wrong, which could have had a massive impact in the game. Going forward, City do look a very good side, like we all thought they would. They play nice, intricate football. I have to say, Raheem Sterling looks a reformed player at the moment. But defensively, the jury is still massively out, I think. Stoke had chances. So, yeah, and Stoke were unlucky, in my opinion, to lose 4-1. So, work to do for Pep, I feel. Mark Hughes, he's got a good side at Stoke. He just needs a little bit of luck. I think they'll be fine, Stoke City. So, the two Manchester sides, both unbeaten. But contrasting circumstances where United look assured, City not quite so. Then we had Conte's first away game as Chelsea manager. He got the victory, but full of drama, like I think Chelsea's season is going to be. Watford took a lead early in the second half, which almost forced Conte's hand a little bit. He brought on Batshuayi and Fabregas, and managers are paid to make big decisions, and they paid off. Batshuayi equalised, typical poacher's goal. He couldn't really miss, in fairness. But then Fabregas played a world-class eye of a needle ball to Costa, who got his second of the season, 2 in 2 games. But should he have been on the pitch, that's another story. Having been booked for dissent, there's an absolute ridiculous dive on Costa's behalf, but wasn't booked again. And it's come back, and he scored the winner. So, interesting, I don't know what you feel on that. But Chelsea are going to be entertaining this year, if nothing else. So, they're 2 from 2. So, a great start for Antonio Conte as Chelsea boss. Then we had Tottenham at home to Palace. Now, this was only 1-0 to Tottenham, but for Wayne Hennessy and the Palace goal, it could have been a few more. He made, in the first half especially, he made an absolute worldie of a double save to keep Spurs out. Spurs knocked at the door, but didn't quite have that cutting edge. As Pochettino said afterwards, he'd still like his squad to be a little bit fitter following the late arrivals back from pre-season, but I'm sure he's not the only one that would say that. One of the plus points for Tottenham was Vincent Janssen started and looks an absolute beast of a centre forward. I don't think he's the finished product in front of goal, but his work rate and his desire was unbelievable for Tottenham, which gave them another dimension. For Palace, again, like I said last week, they're not a million miles away from being a decent Premier League team. Yes, they're lacking in numbers. The Benteke deal has obviously gone through now. Will help them. He'll add them in the final third of the pitch. He'll give them that attacking prowess that they're missing. So I'm sure if they can add 2 or 3 more before the window shuts, Palace will be fine, despite being pointless so far this season. Then we had West Brom against Everton. This was a bit of a surprising game. West Brom took an early lead, and deservedly so as well. Ronald Koeman made a big decision to substitute James McArthur after only about 25 minutes. I think nothing wrong with him, pure tactical decision, and brought on Romelu Lukaku, and it just completely changed the game, changed the dynamics of the game, and Everton went on to win the game 2-1. And they played some really nice stuff after that. It didn't really work with Delafeu as the false nine or whatever you want to call it. So Everton starting to get some players back now. Lukaku was on the bench, came on. Ashley Williams was on the bench. So Everton will be a decent team, I think, this year. I'm not sure if they'll be right up there, but they'll be there or thereabouts. Then we had Swansea against Hull. Hull 2 from 2. Crisis? What crisis? No, they beat Swansea 2-0 and only saw the highlights, but from what I saw, thoroughly deserved the win. Swansea didn't really create a lot, in all fairness, and Hull get the job done. I know they need some reinforcements because the squad is paper thin. Only made one substitution in 2 games, Mike Phelan, so he's very much relying on the core of players that he's got. But one plus point is Jake Livermore dropped back in at centre-half the last 2 games. I think he's looked very, very assured at centre-half. Maybe something to look at for England as well, more than anything, because he brings the ball out and he's comfortable with the ball. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Hull 2 from 2. Then one of the big shocks of the weekend, after Liverpool playing so well to beat Arsenal, they go and lose 2-0 at Burnley. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Burnley here because, again, they looked as if they were fantastic. They worked, they ran their nuts off for Sean Dyche. And Liverpool just looked flat, ordinary. Didn't really test Heaton in the Burnley goal, if I'm being honest, from the highlights. So, a great 3 points for Burnley. Gets them up and running in this year's Premier League. And if they can carry on in that manner, they'll take some stopping at home. Liverpool, again, we all know it, defensively, they weren't great last year, and he hasn't added anyone of any real stature in that position, and defensively they're poor again. So that's something they need to work on at Anfield. Moving on to Sunday, we had the North East Derby, Sunderland against Borough. Borough 2-1 victories, but a game of 2 halves really. First half, Sunderland were poor, in fairness, and then second half they played really well, but when you're 2-0 down in a Premier League game, it's hard to come back from. So again, David Moyes has got some work to do there, needs to bring in some reinforcements quickly as well, having just sold Yunus Gabor, and it looks like Kone is off to Everton. Then the final game of the weekend was at the New London Stadium as West Ham took on Bournemouth. At the start of the weekend, I was actually looking forward to this game, and then the news broke on Saturday, or late Saturday I think it was, that West Ham were going to be without Carroll, Payet and Lanzini, and it turned into an awful game, in fairness. First 60 minutes were forgettable. No team really took the ball by the horns. Harry Arter was sent off late for Bournemouth for 2 yellow cards. You'll be disappointed because the first one's for dissent. We all know the referees are clamping down on it now, and he got himself stupidly booked, and then an easy second yellow card the referees had to give. West Ham won it with about 5 minutes to go. Antonio scored a very good header, in fairness to him, but just a game to forget. West Ham either need to get some players back fit, or Slaven Bilic is going to have to go into the transfer market again because they look desperately short of attacking options. Bournemouth, Eddie Howe, I think they just needed something a little bit different. I think when the emphasis is on them to go and attack teams, they don't look the same team. They're set up to counter-attack, and they counter-attack very well, but they need another dimension to their game at the moment. So I'm sure they'll be looking to bring some reinforcements in as well. So guys, that's my roundup of this week's Premier League football. Hope you enjoy it. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. We'll be doing this every week, guys. So cheers, thanks very much.